let's talk about the Zoe reveal.
Look at this reality! Look how sparkly!
So sparkly.
Hi, I'm Zoe. What's your name?
Hey Zoe, my name is Grapplr. How are you doing?
All right. Hiya! Animations are cool. Dude, the board music is amazing if this is the board music. Oh, please God. Please God, have that background board music be real and buyable. Do you guys hear the background music, how cool it is? I can chill to that all day. It's like da na 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 na. I feel like I'm playing like a Super Nintendo game, like Gladius 3 or something. It's so good. It's like the Jetsons. Dude. That's what I want, man. I want this. I want a board with that music. It's Zoe's theme.
Hey, what you got there?
I could dig that all day.
The wheel turns. Day becomes night. Time to make colors. Awesome.
Wait, how did they get Sparkle Fly there? Wait, how did they do that? Oh, okay, it was the... Yeah. They stole the card. That makes sense.
Awesome. This is gonna be so much fun.
That's really cool. Stalking Shadows, yeah.
How do you like that, Sparkles?
Alright, here we go. First things first. We'll talk about the mysterious Zoe. Let's just dive right into her. 1 mana elusive, 1/1. Next is strike, create a Supercool Starchart in hand, or if you have one, reduce its cost by 1. Interesting. This is a main deckable card, and what it does is invokes a celestial card that costs 3 or less. So, basically, what we're looking at here is Spacey Sketcher for 2 without the discard effect, which is not a bad card. I think this is a very solid card. I think this has a lot of value. I think you can main deck this card in some decks. I actually prefer this card to the 2-cost Invoke card. I prefer this to the 2-cost Invoke card. I really do. So, I think this is a good card. I think this will see play. I think this can see play in for example, Nightfall decks as well as an activator. Overall, I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Anyway, let's talk about Zoe. So, Supercool Starchart. The cards it gives you is amazing. This, like... So, it doesn't guarantee you a card, but it gives you very high odds of drawing a specific Celestial you need. Whenever you need a very strong silence, amazing. Imagine you draw... Like you're playing versus Swain, he drops the boat. Super cool into silence, no problem. What if you need to get out your Ruination a turn earlier? Let's say you need to get it out on mana 5. Mana 6 is going to be too slow. So, on mana 4 you play this, you pull out your 0-cost card, you don't play it. Mana 5 comes around, he develops because you can't ruin it yet. Boom, you drop your Ruination down to 8 mana, you ruinate. Beautiful. You're playing versus elusives and they're going face. You play this, you get an elusive blocker. Amazing. You're playing versus burn aggro, or like Lucian Senna, you drop the 0-2. Like, this is so versatile. It gives you so many options so often that I think this card is just great to have. The problem with Spacey Sketcher, which is the exact same thing, is Spacey Sketcher requires you to discard a card. And very often, you don't want to discard anything in your hand. You really don't. The downside is it doesn't give you a 1/1 body, but with the current meta the way it is, and the amount of fearsome there is, the 1/1 body, that's why you don't really see it that much in play. It's just a bad body. So, it is a bit of a lost tempo, but it keeps your hand there. Now, you have a very good point there, Hydro Penguin. Lost tempo is a problem for Invoke. Invoke, by itself, gives you high value, low tempo plays. That's where this card comes in. Starry Scamp. This card is what gives you back your tempo. Costs 2 less if you behold a Celestial. It's actually pretty decent. I think this card will see play. These decks suffer from tempo. They have a hard time stabilizing board early, and if they can stabilize, they have pretty good mid and late game. So, this card right here might be the answer. This might be the tempo card we've all been looking for to make it more playable. Discard Jury Rig and play 2-2 on turn 1. How do you discard Jury Rig? What do you discard it with? How are you going to behold a Celestial? Oh, yeah, you're right. You can do that with Spacey Sketcher. It's interesting. It's actually pretty decent. It's trash? I don't think so. I think Starry Scamp is actually playable because he is in Targon, and Targon does lack tempo unless you're playing like the early 3-3 and 3-6. This is not an aggro card. But yeah, Zoe usually wants to be a turn 1 play. Zoe suffers from a lot of things. The problem with Zoe is you're never going to see this. Like, you can't build a deck around, I've seen you play 10 cards with different names. I don't think you can. I think every couple of games you can get that to happen. When it does happen, it's pretty cool, I gotta admit. It's pretty cool. Zoe will be played with Victor. I think Zoe is an okay addition to Victor decks. I don't think she's the best addition. I think, for example, Vi is stronger than Zoe. I think Vi does a better job in Victor decks. I think, for example, you could do Victor Draven pretty consistently. Like, I think Zoe's not the best addition, but definitely playable. And maybe in a certain type of Victor deck, she might be the best one. But it's really hard to say. So Zoe is playable. I used to think she wasn't playable. When I first saw her, I was focusing way too much on the level up. It's impossible to do. So I figured, nah. Okay. Let me give you guys a vision here. Twisted Fate. When you play Twisted Fate level up decks, how often does Twisted Fate level up? With that in mind, you need to realize that Zoe is much harder to level up than Twisted Fate. Much harder. First of all, 1 HP less. 1 HP less. Has a much harder level up condition, so she takes longer to level up. So don't expect to level her up consistently. Don't. And it doesn't have immediate value, exactly. Once you level her up, she doesn't win the game either. I think if this would have been... I've seen you play 10 cards with different names, and the level up condition... The level up reward was you win the game. Imagine this. I've seen you play 10 cards with different names. When I level up, you win the game. I don't think that would be broken. I actually don't think that would be broken. I don't think so. I really don't. I don't think it would be broken. It would be probably competitive, but it wouldn't be broken because it's so hard to do. It's so hard. Like, the 2 mana cost, what is it called? Landmark is easier to level up than this. I'm not even joking. The 2 mana cost Landmark is easier to level up than Zoe. It really is. Fiora is easier to level up than Zoe. Fiora is easier to get to 4 kills than Zoe. I think she has some value. She's a card generator. She generates hand size. This can work pretty well with Victor. Maybe she'll see play with Victor. I'm not sure. I think I'll try her out when she comes out. She could be fun. She truly could be fun. And I think maybe I'm missing something with the generating multiple 0 cost, reduce the cost of cards in hand. There might be something there that I'm missing. And if there is, maybe there's a combo I'm missing that's really broken. Because the 0 cost card from Supercool Starchart and from Spacey Sketcher, it's a really, really cool card. Think of a strategy to get her to level up fast. I mean, yeah, but it's still not easy to do because you have to protect her, right? You just imagine Gohard. I mean, Gohard is all over the meta. How does she survive versus a Gohard deck? Just tell me. How does she survive? Will be an auto-include in every singleton deck for Gauntlet. I mean, she's a good 1-drop for that specific scenario. She's an okay 1-drop because she gives you value. I mean, what else are you playing for a 1-drop? Teemo? Teemo's stronger. I think Teemo's a much stronger champion. At least Teemo can win you games if he stays alive. Okay, Zoe's... Here's another big problem with Zoe, and Like, if this was just that, I'd say she's still very, very playable, but her signature card sucks, dude. Her signature card is so bad. So bad. I can't think of many worse signature cards than this. A 2-mana Guile, which doesn't see play. This is twice as expensive as a Guile, by the way, chat. 2-mana Guile. And Guile doesn't see play for 1 mana. To generate a very mediocre removal because it's slow. It's not fast. And it has a condition. My goodness, chat. 5 mana, slow, deal 4 damage. Yeah, that's what we're looking at. And it's not even a flaw because they can't do damage to injured units. They have to have attacked. And plus, when you play Zoe Sleepy Trouble, they know you have this card in hand. So they can simply not attack with their important unit. Right? And just like, nice try, bro. So anyway. Absolute trash. This will never see main decking. Unless maybe you really need it in like a Yasuo deck or something weird. But this, I mean, I'm imagining, guys, close your eyes and imagine the following. You're playing your Zoe deck. You're so excited. Your opening hand has 2 Zoes in it. You concede the game because you have two unplayable cards. GG. Next game. You literally can't draw a second Zoe. Imagine drawing 2 Zoes. You got a dead card in your hand for the rest of the game. Mana 2. Stun a unit for 2 mana. My goodness. Alright. Secondly to that, this is how she's a guys, she's a 1. Okay. I'm gonna give you some brain exercises here so you guys understand how bad Zoe is. In concept, she's a 1 mana 1/1. Keep that in mind. You really want her to live. Turn 1, your opponent plays Teemo, you play Zoe, you block Teemo with Zoe every time. That's how much she sucks. You really want her to live, but you still block Teemo. You actually just block Teemo on turn 1 with her. She's a Teemo chump blocker, chat. The problem is she's really hard to balance. If you gave her on top of elusive spell shield, she'd be broken as hell. So I bet when you play versus Zoe, you're gonna sigh with relief, like, I can finally win a game in peace. So I think that's what's gonna happen. It's the same thing when you see somebody playing, for example, a Vladimir deck. You say, yes, I got some LP, boys. Finally, I win a game. 1 game closer to Masters, you know? So I think that's what Zoe's going to be. So I don't think she's going to be that annoying to play against. I think she's going to be you're going to be very happy to see your opponent playing Zoe. But we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to... Sparklefly. Pretty decent. This is actually pretty decent. Lifesteal on elusive is, I think, something that is undervalued. It's really good. I gotta move my webcam. It's really good to have lifesteal on elusive. I think this card will see some play. Just because it's good versus aggro, man. Like, the problem with Kinko Lifeblade is he costs 4. This is half the price. This is half the price. If your deck runs any ways to buff attack, like gems... If you're running a gem deck, I think you just add this. I'm not even joking. If you're playing gems... I think you just play this. Because you can play this on turn 2 and start healing for 1 HP every attack phase. And versus aggro, healing for 1 HP on every attack is insane. It's actually really good. So this can just give you that much needed lifesteal to survive versus aggro early. So you can get to your late game condition. A better Zoe, that is gone. True. True indeed. So I like this. You're on the wrong hype train, chat. I like this. I think this is pretty decent. 3 mana Kinko Lifeblade. What do you mean? 2 mana. I think this is playable. I think it's a pretty playable card. Not really much else to say about it. The card I'm most excited for is Spell Thief. Dude, holy crap. This looks like so much fun. You know what's really cool? You can play this as a response to a spell. I kid you not. I don't think the spell has to resolve for the spell to go in the pool. Because it says the enemy plays, spells played, right? Wait, does the spell have to resolve? I wonder. For it to be in the pool. Or can it be on the stack? What if somebody counters a spell? Can you just counter his deny? Before it resolves? For Lux, it has to resolve. That's true. Let's look at Lux's wording. That's a good example. I've seen you cast 6+ mana of spells. One says cast, one says play. What does bot do? We can test this. Where is he? When you cast the spell. Okay. So this is cast. That actually says play. Okay, so they would have definitely put cast if it was the same as these cards. So I'm going to assume it's different for a reason. So I'm just going to assume that that is the case. That played is already played, even if it didn't resolve. That's pretty cool. Spell Thief would be great against Furoshen. It's great versus a lot of things. Imagine this. Somebody plays Judgment. You just Judgment them back. Imagine this. Somebody plays Harrowing. You just Harrowing them back for blocker. Imagine this. Somebody plays Deny. You just deny them back. It's so good. If it works the way I think it works, this card is absolutely tier 1. I'll play this in every control deck that runs Targon. This is the card I'm most excited about.
Hey Zoe, my name is Grapplr. Nice to meet you.
No, you can't see anything. Oh no, dude. Guys, this is your acting chance. This is your debut. So the YouTube video can look natural, okay?